All right, so I am now here with Art Alexakis of Everclear. So weird that you are in front of me that we're talking right now. I'm sure you get that a lot, but thank you, first of all, for stopping in.
Absolutely.
Art is playing a solo acoustic show tonight at Faultline North, and we'll get into that. But I want to get into exactly why it's weird for me. First of all, my college roommate my sophomore year, if I would have told him that we were going to be talking one day, his head would have exploded. Shout out to Dan Rowe. He's a Jersey kid.
Hey, Dan.
I lost contact with him. Otherwise, I wish I could have told him this was happening. But
You don't know where he's at?
I don't. No, it's been a lot of years.
Yeah.
But so I actually started off despising Everclear. That's a great way to start off an interview, right?
Okay.
Because
Not the first time someone's done that. Okay.
only because Sparkle and Fade was on a loop in my dorm room for an entire year. I mean, you're bound to.
Well, from your roommate?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
would
So-
not stop playing it. I mean, we used to joke around with him and tell him that we are going to find him a girl with 2 pierced nipples and a black tattoo. Preferably not a heroin addict, but
He's probably like, okay.
he was the biggest Everclear fan ever. It was, yeah, so.
Cool.
But I quickly became a fan. There was 2 songs that you wrote, Father of Mine and Wonderful, that from the first moment I heard them just talked to me. It was like a soundtrack for my life.
Right.
Because, you know, for obvious reasons, Father of Mine, my dad left when I was young, when I was just a baby, and then was very sparingly in my life until I finally told him he didn't have to bother anymore when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And then with Wonderful, soon after my dad left, my mom and I were living with a boyfriend of hers for maybe 2 or 3 years. It was like 5, 6, and 7 years old, I think, who was very abusive physically to her. So I had to witness that. And then also there was a lot of yelling during that time. And I mean, I was the cliche kid sitting on top of the stairs with my head in my hands, wondering how I could make it stop, you know?
Yeah.
And when I heard those songs, I was right around 20 years old. I know they're a few years apart.
Yeah.
And, you know, instantly I just connected with me. And anytime to this day when I want a good cry, I just have to throw Wonderful on. And I mean, another thing they did is they forced me to deal with some issues that I kind of suppressed. They brought up some memories that I didn't know I had when I first heard
That happens.
both of those songs.
Happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. But yeah, or stuff that you knew you had, but you just don't think about. Yeah, I wrote about something on our last record, Black is the New Black, that came out last year. There's a song on there about me getting abused when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I never forgot it. It never went away, but I just didn't think about it. And then as I became a parent and, you know, I started thinking, how can people do things like that to people, to kids? How can you do that to a kid? How can you abandon a kid? How do you walk away from a kid? I understand people walking away from relationships, but I just, for the life of me, just can't understand walking away from your child.
See, now you sound exactly like me because I'm now a parent and I cannot fathom it. I can't. There's just no excuse.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the way it is. Life, you get your butt kicked in life. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you pick yourself up and you learn from it and you better yourself. That's how people who win in life win.
Right.
That's what winning is to me. It's not stupid, you know, like New Age or modern thing of winning or anything like that. It's just your own personal winning of just being able to get past a hard time and a butt kicking and just say, okay, I'm good where I'm at now. And that happens in relationships, but it doesn't have to happen with a child because a child is going to love you.
Mm-hmm.
If you love that child, they're going to love you. It's like, it's the best thing in the world.
Well, I mean, I can remember when you're a child, your parents mean everything to
Everything.
you. That's your entire world.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that when you have kids of your own, you have to, right?
Yeah. They think you're the coolest people in the world.
You can do really no wrong unless you actually do wrong, but, you know.
Yeah. And even then, it's hard to do.
Right.
You know, it's like you look at dogs who get kicked, they still go back to their masters, even though they're abused. And it's just, but it's horrible for animals and it's horrible for people. And it's just like, you know, I mean, you could go through years of therapy and still not figure out the reason why people do this. And it always comes down to low self-esteem. It wasn't a problem with you, even though you as a child probably made it about you, as we all do.
Yeah.
Not about you. It's about him.
Right.
It's about his damage that he probably got from someone who got it from someone. And it's just a cycle of abandonment and abuse and damage that someone somewhere has got to end it. And it sounds like you're doing it with you.
Well, I honestly look at it now like it was meant to be that way, because it's made me the best father I can be, and that, to me, is the most important thing in life. So I'm so happy now for the experience.
Well, you know, not what to do. You know what not to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. Is because I'll say that my show talking about being a parent. It's like, and I apologize to everybody. We're kind of getting into a therapy meeting here.
I apologize for
don't
taking
apologize.
it right there,
but it's just one of these things where you don't always know what to do as a parent. As your child gets older, your children get older, things are going to come up, and you're going to go, wow, how do I deal with that?
Yeah.
And you're going to try, and you might fail, but if you're trying from a good place in your heart, it's not going to be that bad. If you're not hurting or hitting or yelling
failure,
or calling them names. I have friends whose parents called them names, called them stupid and idiot and stuff like that. And how do you get over that? I don't know if you ever really 100% do.
No, I agree.
I was lucky. I didn't have my dad around. But I had my mom. And my mom, even though she was damaged, never put that damage on me. And unlike what your mom did, what a lot of women do is they'll gravitate to a man, and after having low self-esteem and being abandoned by a man with a child, they tend to gravitate towards angry men. I don't know why that is. My mom refused to remarry, and it would have probably been financially better on us and easier in some ways, but she had such a bad experience with a stepmother that she just didn't want to put that on us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
yeah, seriously, both of those songs are worked as a shrink for me. You know, I've never actually sat down with someone and opened up about these things, and now you're serving as the shrink. But
we're just talking about it. People just. I
just want to thank you for
welcome.
writing those songs, and
Well,
this is one man's true story. I'm sure there's thousands that you've helped with your music. That's an amazing thing. The power of music is amazing, and thank you.
Well, thank you. And I just want people out there to know that if you come to the show tonight, it's not all this. I do talk about serious stuff, but we also have a lot of fun. And I talk a lot of smack because I'm a smart ass. And I just constantly, it's almost like stand-up sometimes.
Yeah, let's talk about the show. So it kicked off just last night in Butte. It's a very, very short solo acoustic tour.
Yeah. Well, we're making up for some markets I've never been to. I thought I'd never been here, but I'm looking at the wall, and I wrote on it, Everclear 99. I can tell my horrible writing, to the Moose, thanks for all love and blah, 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 blah. And I guess was that with Michelle?
That was with Michelle, yes.
Wow, back in 99?
Yeah, as soon as Art walked into the studio, I said, well, you've obviously been here before. Your name's on the wall there. I mean, it was 99. I didn't expect you to remember, but... you certainly didn't.
Wow.
You must have been to a lot of radio stations in your days. Yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
it's kind of a trip though, right?
It's a trip. No, it's always fun. It's always fun. It's a trip because usually people will paint over these and get more people to sign it, as things become more contemporary.
Right.
But my stuff's still on the wall.
We keep it real here at the Moose.
Keeping it old school. Awesome.
So it's songs and stories. So there's a lot of interaction then with the audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. I play songs. I talk about stuff, and people, it's interactive. I like that people, will shout out songs or questions and it's just, like I said before, it's not like this pristine performance where I'm performing for you and you have to watch everything and weigh on every moment. I'll probably forget some of the words because I'm an idiot. And it's
but you do take any requests pretty much? You
maybe.
You give it a shot?
Maybe.
All right.
It's called the Surly DJ. That's what I call that part of the show because it's like people will be like, play this. And I'm like, No. What do you mean no? No. I don't want to play it.
Not in the mood.
No, don't want to play it. Don't like you. Don't want to play it.
Didn't like the way you asked me right
No,
there.
I didn't dig it.
Right.
Like your girlfriend, but don't like you. See what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to the show tonight. I
Awesome.
really am looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So for those who aren't familiar, Faultline North tonight. Doors at 7. Show starts at 8. And I believe there's some tickets still available. Cactus Records or 1111presents.com. Check it out tonight. Art is passing through. You're heading to Billings next.
Billings tomorrow, yeah.
Nice.
And then a few days off back at home in Pasadena, California, and then go to Colorado and do some shows. And then Everclear shows start kicking in March. And
that's what I was going to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of one-offs. We're going to go to Okinawa in April and all over the U.S. These, like one-off festival stuff. And right now we're trying to put together a Summerland tour. We do it every year. It's all 90s bands. And I can't announce the bands right now because they haven't all signed the agreement. Once they sign the agreement, then we can announce the tour and go up. But it looks like it's going to happen. So
awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be the 5th year in a row.
5th annual Summerland tour. Look out for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We came to, I think, a place called Big Woods. Is that a place?
Big Woods.
Or Big Mountain or
Big Timber.
Big Timber.
There you go.
Yeah, we played Big Timber a couple of years ago with the Summerland tour. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet this isn't weather-wise not what you expected for a
This is great.
February show in Montana.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew it was going to be colder than where I live, which is right now about 75 degrees.
Oh wow.
Sunny.
Yeah. That's nice.
Well, that's why people live there. That's why there's so many people in LA.
Right.
It's not about anything else. It's about
definitely
the weather.
I'm originally from Connecticut, from back east.
Okay.
And the only thing I miss about that way is the ocean. I really do.
Do you?
It calls to me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I lived in Oregon for a while, for 20-some years. That's Portland. That's where we started Everclear. And then when my oldest daughter went to college about 5 years ago, my wife and I wanted to go somewhere warm. Yeah, I talk about it during the show. I don't want to give it all away.
No,
but I got an 8-year-old at home as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm that guy. I'm 53 with an 8-year-old. Wasn't part of the program.
Of course not.
But it's a blessing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can see by the sparkle in your eyes.
I love my babies.
You're loving life. So
absolutely.
That's phenomenal. Again, get to the show tonight. Faultline North, Art from Everclear. He's going to share some stories. You seem like an open book.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to me, it was always like, go ahead and tell the stories that people are just going to use against you anyway. So, even when I was a kid, it was just like, yeah, this happened. Wow, I can't believe you told me that. Well, you're going to find it out anyway. So, that was kind of my thinking as a kid. And I'm still like that. You just get tired of the bull, man. You just get tired of the noise and distraction. Just, you make mistakes, make choices, live with them, own up to them.
Yeah.
By the way, this venue is pretty new, you said, and it's really nice,
It's very new, Faultline North, yes. And I think we were talking off air. It holds around 700 or 800 people.
Yeah.
I think mainly standing room, but I haven't been yet.
I think they're going to put tables out tonight. So they'll probably be about
that.
I think what they are estimated is about 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I think there's something like 300 tickets.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think there's a balcony too. I don't know if anyone's going to be up there. So,
Oh,
but from what I hear, the sound and lighting is really amazing.
great.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I look forward to you being my first show at Faultline North.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for coming and having me on today.
You're so welcome. You're such a nice guy. I wish we didn't have to cut it short. Well, it wasn't short, but I wish we didn't have to say goodbye. I wish we could chat more and you could help me through life problems. Thanks so much, Art.
We'll see you tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely try to make this show. It is going to be a very intimate evening with Art Alexakis of Everclear. Thank you for stopping in. Maybe we'll have you sign the wall again.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Update that.
Yeah.
And check them out tonight. Thank you very much, Art.
All right.